All right, good morning. Welcome back. We are going to prep today. It is a crock pot meal. So it is a deconstructed enchilada casserole, whatever you want to call it. I don't care, but it's really good. It's simple. You can prep it. So right now it is 8:30, and I won't be going into work today until about 9:30. So I'm gonna prep it so that I don't have to make dinner tonight, which is a really nice thing. I wouldn't call it easy. Well, it is really easy if you choose not to make the enchilada sauce, but I also make a homemade enchilada sauce to go with it, which makes it a little bit more complex. And you don't have to do that. I'm sure that there are great ones out there. I like doing it. I know that Siete has a enchilada sauce recipe, or a canned enchilada sauce, so you could absolutely do that. You start with the garlic and onions. You put them in a pot and let them soften. So I'm gonna chop those up and then we'll make the sauce together, put it all in the crock pot, and then that's where all of the magic happens. So, can't remember. Need my computer. Perfect timing. Could you get my computer out of my work bag, please? Okay. So it says 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. So 2 cloves of garlic, which usually means I usually do an extra one because we just find ourselves really being garlic people. So I'll do 3 cloves of garlic. I don't want to admit that this is another Brock Your Body recipe because now it's just getting obsessive. It kind of feels like I'm creepy. But she has a lot of just like practical, everyday life recipes. And so that's where we're at today. We're just running it back. Also, the original, when I chop and cut, I don't know if you can hear me, but the original enchilada sauce recipe that I make was somebody else's. I can't remember whose it is, but then I opened up Brock Your Body's cookbook, and of course there was an enchilada sauce recipe in there. It's pretty similar to the one I did before. I actually think there's only one ingredient that's different, so I just kind of mixed the two.
Made it your own.
Sure, made it my own, whatever you want to call it. I hate getting to the end of the piece of garlic. Okay. This is like I'm like racing against the clock right now. 4th of July is over. There's no need for my nails to be this red. Like I was holding a glass of wine and they like didn't look good together. My red nails look bad with my wine. And I know that that's probably not something that bothers people, but it bothers me. It bothers me when my nails don't match what's happening everywhere. You can diagnose that as you would please, but it bothers me. Okay, so garlic, mince it.
Talk about your mincing method.
My mincing method? I've discussed this on a previous video, but I used to hate mincing garlic. So if you're new here, you all are. I used to hate mincing garlic. I found it just absolutely annoying. But ever since I started slicing it before I tried to dice it, slice and dice, I enjoy it a lot more. I just think it helps you get it to a smaller thing. And yes, this cutting board is not nice and it moves when I cut, which is really beautiful.
Do you have a nice cutting board?
I have a nice cutting board, but I hate washing it, so I just use this one instead. That's another thing I hate. Like, I don't understand how it just jumps off the cutting board and flies across the kitchen. That's probably why Hank's having throat problem. We eat too much garlic in this house. And dogs can't eat garlic, at least I don't think. My brain just I can't wait to watch that back and watch what my facial expression was. Also, I'd love to know. We bought this garlic and it peels so easily, and I'm convinced it's just better garlic.
Has to be.
Than we normally get. And let me tell you the game changer. Peeling garlic is actually my least favorite part. Now, onion.
Teach him how to peel an onion.
What?
Teach them how to cut an onion.
I don't know how to cut an onion, so I can't teach you something I don't know. I try my best. That's all you can do is try your best. And I usually peel off the top layer because it's just easier than trying to peel off just the skin. An onion has layers. I don't know how to work with a producer, clearly. I'm just answering the questions that John asks me, not realizing you guys can't hear them. They say you're supposed to leave that on and that helps prevent tears, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I do it like this. I am sure if any chefs are out there watching this, you're probably cringing. If you have suggestions on how to cut it better, sure, send me a video. I don't take written instructions, I take video instructions. So I do it like that, and then I take the knife and then you chop it like that. Again.
Oh, that was good.
Literally no clue if I'm doing this right. It's diced though. So if you're looking for technical things, if you're looking for the correct way to do things, what they would teach you in culinary school, not the place for you. If you are just trying to learn and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't either, but it works and I'm learning on the go. So if you're a learn on the go type of girl or boy, I don't give off much masculine energy for men to be here, but I'm your girl if you're trying to learn. I'm not your girl if you're like, want professional tips. Do the best you can. The worst part about doing it in 2 halves, and you have to do it in 2 halves, is now I have to do it again. So again, I just go, yeah, not all the way through. You leave a little bit left over, and you just cut. But I will say, like, watching myself do this, I do feel a lot better. If I would have done this like 6 months ago, it would have been embarrassing to everybody.
Do a reenactment.
I mean, actually, you know what's funny? I probably have a videotape of it. I videotaped myself making chili, probably whenever the Super Bowl was, so 6 months ago. This was before I decided to do anything with it. I was just like having fun in my kitchen, filming myself cooking. And I bet if I watch that back, the way I cut that onion is terrifying. So the thing is, sometimes I get to this piece and I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut it. And I throw it away. And it works because John doesn't like onions anyway. So if I do a little less onions, he thinks it's even better, which is perfect. So maybe if you have an onion lover in your house, you can't do that, and I'm sorry for you. Now this is ready. We'll get this started. You just put it on a pan over low heat and kind of let the onions and garlic cook a little bit. Actually, I don't know if it's low heat, medium heat. Now I've got 2 pans. One is gonna be for the enchilada sauce. We'll do that next. And this is for the onions and garlic. I was gonna say peppers. There's no peppers here. Okay. Come on over. Come on over, baby. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of avocado oil for the onions and the garlic. Usually I actually do olive oil for these. This recipe just calls for avocado oil, so it was out. And this pan used to be non-stick, but it's not anymore. It's like a knockoff Caraway. And so, yeah, it's not very good. They are from Sam's Club. They're pretty. We were really excited about them when we got them. That didn't last long. Okay, so now I am just going to, the olive oil isn't even heated yet, but I'm just gonna, listen, again, practical life. Get the garlic out. Oh, you can't see. Cool. Okay, so I'm putting the onions and the garlic into a pan. I brought you all the way over here and you can't even see. That's okay, whatever. You've got your onions, your garlic, and olive oil in there. I'm also gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt. That helps the onions sweat and helps them soften. And then I'm gonna top it with olive oil a little bit, and that's that. So you can see the olive oil. And then just let it, as I like go through the process of making the enchiladas, I just let it cook. So be right back. So now it's time for the enchilada sauce. One more time. Now it's time for the enchilada sauce. So you start with, this is the gluten-free flour I use for this. Mostly because we have so much gluten-free flour because I tested it with other things, and I don't like using this for baking, but it works for this sauce. 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So there you go. 1, 2. Then you do a tablespoon of chili powder. There we go. Yeah, probably should have used it. I use this bowl every time, but now that I'm also on a time crunch here. Vibes. That seems right. 1 tablespoon of that. We need a teaspoon of cumin, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, a half teaspoon of dried oregano. I don't know if I've described this bag yet. Don't ask questions. Oh, while I'm over here, I'm just gonna move around the onions and garlic. That's what's in onions and garlic, yeah. What did I come over here for? A teaspoon. Now, oh no. Okay, we're gonna go cumin. What do I need? A teaspoon. This counter is just gonna be so dirty, and I'm gonna have to leave it like this. That's gonna be a test. Half, yeah. So one teaspoon of cumin. Set it aside. Half teaspoon garlic powder. Dried oregano. That's what's in this bag, not illegal substances. Half teaspoon of dried oregano. Salt, black pepper, cinnamon. Oh, you guys are slightly tilting. That's kind of fun. Come on over, baby. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. All right, then I need a half teaspoon of salt, kosher. This pepper, like, I measure pepper with my heart because, like, I'm not putting this, that's good. And I don't even like pepper that much, so it doesn't even matter. And then just a sprinkle of cinnamon. Again, it says 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just gonna sprinkle it and hope for the best. Clearly, I don't care about cinnamon measuring. Okay, so now you prepare all of this because it moves really fast once you start the enchilada sauce. So I am just, all right, so now we're gonna measure out the broth and everything else. So we're gonna measure out the tomato paste and put it into one of these small bowls. I used to buy tomato paste in cans, and then as soon as I would open it, I'd buy the little ones and then I'd throw it away because it was like, what am I gonna do with an open can of tomato paste? These things? No, they don't have a, that's not good. Okay, I was trying to do it like toothpaste, but this is like a tin canister. They don't have a huge shelf life once it's open, but enough. I'm just gonna do an extra little squirt in there because I don't think I filled it all the way. All right, now we're good with that. You've got your tomato paste. Now you go beef broth, and beef broth is this is another thing I do differently. Every other recipe is called for like a veggie broth or something. I always go with beef broth, mostly because it's what we have. And I've discovered that by it being the only thing we had, when I bought the right stuff for the recipe, I like beef broth better. So do with that what you will. Okay, 2.5 cups beef broth. So now we've got everything all lined up. All right, I'm gonna switch you around in a second so that you can see everything, but really quickly, just kind of wanted to describe what's going on. We have peppers, onions and garlic. They are sauteing over here, trying to get them softened. Over here, we have avocado oil. It is heating. And then from there, you will see we've got spices over here, tomato paste, beef broth I left in the center, but we're gonna use beef broth and apple cider vinegar as well. So everything's gonna go into here. You just have to wait for the avocado oil to heat. To make sure it's heated all the way, you just sprinkle a little bit of the seasoning mixture in there and it should sizzle. Once it sizzles, that tells you that it is ready to go. But if it doesn't sizzle yet, you have to wait a few more minutes for the avocado oil to heat a little bit more. So we're gonna wait for that to happen and be right back. Yep, so it sizzles and it absorbs like very quickly. One more minute. We've got enchilada sauce to make. So again, you just take the enchilada sauce or the seasonings for the sauce and kind of dump them in. Once it starts sizzling, you just dump it right on in. Whisk it. And I know that people are going to tell me something. They're gonna see this and they're gonna wanna tell me that you shouldn't put metal on ceramic pans. Really great.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, like, oh, good, they're the microplastics I'm consuming, or the toxins I'm consuming, that's okay. Nobody told you you had to do it my way. So it looks like, almost kind of like a taco seasoning that's mixed. Okay, so once this is in here, you want it to like completely mesh with the oil. Then from here, you just take the tomato paste, the 2 tablespoons tomato paste, throw it in and whisk it. So I turned it up a tiny bit. If you noticed me hit this, I just turned it up from medium to right over medium. So now you're mixing the tomato paste in with the seasoning and the oil, and you're noticing it'll mix in. You're just looking for everything to get combined. So now it's a little bit more red. Now it kind of really does look like taco meat. You've got the red. You just go in with the beef broth. Now as you do this, I usually do it half and half. I pour in a little bit, I stir it, then I pour in the rest. So in what you want the seasoning, not the seasoning, the tomato paste and the seasoning, yeah, that's what it is. Kind of mixing it so that it doesn't stay in clumps. You want it to almost disintegrate into the water. I don't know if that's the right term, but it's what makes sense in my brain. And then I'm going to go in with the rest of it. Here is where you let it sit and you turn it up a little bit. So I'm going to turn the heat to medium high. Just right in between medium and high is usually where I say, not that hard to understand. Although I will say, when I started cooking, I did not understand what medium high meant. Like, is it medium or is it high? Is it closer to medium or is it closer to high? It's just smack dab in the center. So let this cook a little bit. Yeah, these things. All right, they are browning, which is kind of what you want. You want them to start to brown. I don't worry too much or think too much about them because they're going in a crock pot, and I just watched an onion fall in between our stove. So that's gonna be fun. That'll be there for weeks.
Maybe forever.
What?
Maybe forever.
Maybe forever. Letting this cook, and then the only thing you have left to do is you have to put a little bit more seasoning in with the chicken. So I'm gonna do that really quick while this cooks, hopefully. So 1 second. Now I'm gonna make the seasoning that's gonna go on top of the chicken, and the light from over here just isn't nearly as nice as when it's in that corner, but I moved my KitchenAid, and the KitchenAid's on the counter blocking the view if I put you over there. So we're just gonna deal with the bad lighting. So 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon chili powder. I really had to put this thing back on. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, which I need to add to our grocery list. That was more than 1/2 teaspoon. Who really cares? Again, it tells you a measurement for black pepper. I don't measure. I just twist it until I'm over it. And look at that, I'm over it. And then more of my dried oregano that looks like I'm dealing drugs. I'm not. And it's 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay, well, I don't have one of those out, so I'm just gonna throw some in. It's 1/4 teaspoon for any of you who want to measure. And then I add a little sprinkle of cinnamon here as well, because what harm can it cause? Now this will go in the crock pot with the chicken. So now we're gonna go back to the enchilada sauce. Back with the enchilada sauce. You can see the consistency of it. Can you? No, of course not. Well, you can't see the consistency of it. It's starting to thicken. Starting to thicken. You've got to let the heat will thicken it, and then you want it to get to the thickness where you can kind of feel the catch of a spoon. And the first time I made that, I had no idea what that meant. I did not understand. You'll get it. It's just kind of a feeling, and it makes sense once you do it. You'll feel that thickening happening because of the flour that's in there. So all good there. The onions and garlic actually look good, so I'm going to remove them from the heat and get everything into the crock pot. I'm gonna start with the onions and the garlic. Just kind of throw them into here. Okay, onions and garlic are in, stove off. Not quite there, but I can feel the difference from when I touched it this time, the sauce, and the last time. So just something to note. You can start to feel it. Now we will drain. All the stuff I was trying to hide from you is right behind me. But that's okay, because this is real life. I'm gonna drain the beans. Just black beans from Publix. Rinse them. They look, so whatever it is that beans are in, that like sauce, not sauce, I'm calling it sauce, whatever, is so gross to me. Chicken. Now, beans. Okay. I thought that, oh no. I really thought that was gonna be cool. Instead, water dripped everywhere. Oh, the sauce is thickening. The sauce is thickening. We forgot about the sauce. If you forget about the sauce, it will thicken. Okay, now it's where it needs to be, but now I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous. I burnt the sauce. Oh well, we'll find out tonight in 8 hours. You see how it I don't know how to describe it. You can just tell when you're running your spoon through it. It's no longer a watery consistency. It's more of a, whatever. It's more of a thick consistency. So I'm gonna move that off of heat. Once you move it off of heat, you put in a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. No clue why, never thought to question it. Don't know why it goes in after it's done cooking. Don't know why it's required. I know it's good. Stir it in, and then they also say top it with black pepper. I'm gonna do that because I never measure black pepper. I'm gonna throw in a little extra and a little extra salt. So that seems like a lot, but that's okay. And I do try to let it cool for a little bit before putting it in, like a little bit as in like 5 minutes. But I don't think I have the luxury of time today. Father time is not, father time? Father time? Is that a thing? I don't. I'm gonna let that cool. Get the chicken. Here, now the chicken goes in. I use breasts. I think sometimes for crock pot recipes, we do a lot of chicken tenders here. Just because they're easier to cook and I have issues with chicken, if I'm being honest. So I will sometimes do it with whatever we have, but we went to the store and planned ahead. So we have chicken breasts. Those are gonna go in. Now I'm really, honestly, at this point, I'd probably let it cool longer, but I'm gonna be transparent. I don't have time left, so it's going in the pot. Oh, good catch on Nicole's part. Throwing this on top of the chicken. So now the seasoning's on top of the chicken. That could have been a fun extravaganza. All right, now here goes the sauce. Now the sauce is in, everything's good to go. I like to mix it up a little bit. Lid on. Want to set it for 7 to 8 hours is low, 4 to 5 hours is high. So that is that, and then it'll be ready in about 8 hours when it's time for dinner. You can see how easy it would be if you didn't do your own enchilada sauce. Like, the work is cut in like a quarter of what you do. The enchilada sauce I just like to do. I think it makes it better. I've never tried it with regular enchilada sauce, but it's just like, am I really gonna stop making the enchilada sauce now? Probably not, no. So good luck. I'll see you back here in 8 hours. All right, so we are back again. It has been, I don't know what time it was when I officially put it on. It had to have been 9:20 to 5:20. 8 hours. I'm really smart, can't you tell? So now we're just gonna check on it. We're gonna check on it, and it burned me. That's okay. And shred the chicken, put it back in for like 10 minutes with shredded chicken and cut up tortillas and cheese. So that is the next step of our journey. I see your phone, honey. All right, so this is what you're looking at before we shred it. Listen, it's the latter half of the day. I've used a lot of words today and I'm running out of them. We're gonna shred it. I've seen those tools people have that are like actual shredders, which are cool, but I don't have one of those, so I use 2 forks. And speaking of that, we have no forks clean. They're all in the dishwasher. That's all. Everybody can go home now. Okay, just kidding. Now I'm gonna hand wash forks like a pilgrim. I'm gonna take the chicken out. Let's see. Now, sometimes I will say I don't even get to pull it out because it starts pulling apart inside. So let's see if oh yeah, that's a tender boy. Honestly, he's just shredding apart in here. And yes, chicken is a boy. Meat's boy. All right, we're just gonna go in here and shred it. So again, this is not an official I don't have a cameraman that can come over me and see, but just know I'm just going like this. Oh, my forks they got stuck together. They love each other so much. I have a cameraman. It's steaming. Listen, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. All right, well, that seems. Why? Okay, so now it's mostly shredded. This will be one of our plates. And then I'm gonna get the tortillas and the cheese. Now these are the tortillas I use. They are the Siete almond. They're the Siete almond flour ones. Siete is arguably one of my favorite brands. Their taco seasoning is amazing. Their chips, I don't know what they put in those Mexican shortbread cookies. No, wait, is it the Mexican shortbread? I think it is. Mexican wedding cookies. Whatever they put in there, it is addictive. Let me tell you, it's not legal. They are the best cookies. If I buy them, I eat the entire package just sitting here. They're so good. But I also love, if you're looking for a really good gluten-free tortilla, the almond flour Siete ones are insane. Their taco seasoning, we don't use, I've considered trying to make my own taco seasoning, but like, why? Just why? It's not going to be as good, so why try? That's why I said earlier, if you don't want to do the extra step of making your own enchilada sauce, I can guarantee that the Siete one's good. The reason I ended up buying my own once is because I checked the ingredients of like a normal enchilada sauce, and it had red dye 40 in it, and like, one, that's so unnecessary, and two, I'm actually allergic to red dye, and so it just causes, I can't eat it because I'm allergic. That's what drew me to make my own. And then the one day I was in the grocery store and I saw Siete had one, and I was like, oh, had I known that, I probably would have gotten a Siete one and never tried this on my own. But I like making it. Makes me feel official. All right, now I'm just cutting the tortillas. And no, I'm not using a cutting board. I'm just using the plate and then I just cut it into little triangles. And you just throw it in here. I will say, try to separate them, because usually I just throw them in and clump them all together. And then John and I have noticed that every time we eat it, we get the first serving and it has a bunch of tortillas in it. And then we get to the second portion, no tortillas left. Now I need to shred the cheese, because I buy blocks of cheese and I shred it. I'm like a pilgrim. So you can make your life a lot easier than mine if you choose to do things like buy the cheese that's in the bag that's already shredded. There's no judgment. There's just like, I like this stuff, brings me joy. And the cheddar that I have it's very good. You'll watch me eat a few bites of it. And my dog is sitting right here. Hank's right here, and he's going to be desperate for some. I'm just doing it like this. Look at me go. I'm so talented. Hank's getting the scraps off the ground. You know, it's like one of those things that flies under the radar, that Hank actually licked our dish towel and we caught him. Oh, sometimes I'm just so not intelligent. I was like, why isn't much cheese coming out? I keep grating. Where is it? And then I tipped it over, and let me tell you, these are gonna be some cheesy enchiladas now. Oops! Put it back in. Mix it all up. Those tortillas meshed in. Now back on for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, we're back. Shredded, and we're gonna put it on our plates and eat. Is everybody else as excited as I am? Cool. Great. Glad you're all here. Production had to come out. The star can't do everything, can they? Hello. That's so creepy. Okay. All the time. Tongs would be.
I am starving.
Don't let him make you think we're eating dinner at like 8 o'clock at night. It's 5:43. Hank's licking the floor. Look at that beauty. I mean, that is just as aesthetic as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. Aren't you jealous? Again, Meghan Markle. Slop it down.
I also recommend maybe using a spoon for this instead of 2 forks.
Next plate, please. The lunch lady's here.
More chicken, please.
The thing about me is, it's almost embarrassing every time I go to show you the food, because Nothing about it is pretty ever. So here's the food. My plates are from Target. They were the second least expensive plates in Target after I graduated college. And I refused to buy the room essential ones. And then I found the plates that were the second cheapest. And these are them. And most of them have chips in them. And listen, they're still plates. So if you have plates that don't have chips in them, I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy that you have cutlery that you like. This is just a smorgasbord here. How's the food?
Is a plate considered cutlery?
No, plates are not cutlery. Thank you for that. That was helpful.
Very good.
That didn't feel sincere enough.
It's fantastic. It took about 7 hours to get it on my plate, but worth it.
Okay, hold on. Ready? I'll take a bite. Is it hot? Is it going to burn my mouth? Oh, okay. I'm not going to burn my mouth for you all. Like, I'm happy you're here, but I value like my health and happiness, and having a burnt tongue is one of the worst things. Pretty good.
Question for the chat. What's worse, a burnt tongue or a burnt roof of your mouth?
It has to be the roof of your mouth.
Agreed. What's worse, biting your tongue or biting your cheek?
Biting your cheek.
Biting your cheek is more of a pain in the ass later on. But in terms of pain in that moment, biting your tongue is debilitating. Like, I've fallen to my knees in the past from biting my tongue.
And you call me dramatic. Okay. All right. That's it. We're done here. We're going to go eat our dinner. And guess what? I don't have to clean now. I cleaned this morning. So that is a blessing of a crock pot meal. I feel like we didn't give it a good enough review. Nobody's going to want to make this. Nobody said anything good about it. This is a dinner we make all the time. So it's like, how am I supposed to pretend like, oh yes, this is so good. Like, I know it's good. I make it once a week.
It's amazing. I love it.
See you next week.